Good morning. Welcome to a very, very damp and horrible day in November. November the 27th. And I can't stand to stop at house any longer, so I thought I'd get back out for half an hour. Even though it's a bit wet under tyre. I shan't be going far. We'll call it garage and put a little bit of fuel in first. Then we'll have a little ride round there. It's not been a very good couple of weeks, which I'll explain in a bit. So I might not be at my best, but I'll do what I can. We'll call it in and get ripped off yet again. Right, that's a taxing session over with. Yeah, this past couple of weeks has not been very good for us. We've had really, really bad weather. I had water go under my garage door and wet my carpet through. I've got some carpet tiles down, so I've ordered a garage door seal. Hopefully that'll stop it or reduce it down to acceptable levels anyway. It sticks onto the floor, it's about 20 mil high and it's supposed to keep water out of your garage, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Then I had a problem with my car. I thought it was a wheel bearing that had gone. Turns out it was track rod ends that had failed. But you can't knock that Kia warranty because they've been replaced under that warranty. So it's not cost me a penny. Well, I say it's not cost me a penny. I had 2 new front tyres put on because they were getting ready anyway. So it's cost me 4 tyres. But that's just one of them things, isn't it? But the major upset is the fact that I've had to have one of my dogs put to sleep, and it's really cut us all up quite a bit. It's been a hellish past couple of weeks. Yvie, we got her at 10 months old. We didn't know at the time obviously that she got a health condition called canine lupus, which I believe attacks the your nervous system and stuff like that. So we've kept her going for the past 12 years or so. She started struggling a little bit a few weeks ago on her back end. So we took her to the vets. He says, yeah, it's arthritis. So I gave her this injection, some painkillers, and she should improve a bit. But she didn't, she got worse. So we ended up taking her back, or my wife did, took her back. And he said, stop giving her the painkillers, I think it's that that's making her worse. He says, but there could be other things going on. So, fast forward to another week, she took her back again, no improvement, and he gave her some steroids. I think it was a week's course, something like that, but maybe a bit longer, I don't know, I can't remember, but gave her some steroids anyway. And she came on in leaps and bounds. We thought, yeah, that's brilliant, that. The last day of the steroid, which was last Wednesday, and she nosedived after that. She got to the point where she couldn't even stand up. Wouldn't eat. She still knew we were there. Still kept lifting her head up for us to stroke her and this, that and the other. Anyway, I said to her wife, I said, look, we're going to have to make a decision here, and I think it might be time. And it's absolutely horrible. It's been the worst weekend I've had for years. So I booked her in for 20 to 3 on Saturday afternoon. Got up Saturday morning and she was a lot worse. So I phoned better straight away. Can we bring her? They said yeah. So she was put to sleep at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. And like I said, we're all pretty cut up about it. I believe losing a dog or a pet is on par to losing a family member, if not even worse. And that's the reason I've just had to get out of the house. I know I've got Millie still at home, so I'm not going to be too long. I don't want to leave her on her own too long. But she seems to be coping pretty well. But after the vet had put her to sleep, she had a quick feel round her abdomen and what have you. And she says, yeah, it's just as I suspected. I said, what? She said, I think it's cancer. Either liver or stomach cancer. So there would have been no coming back from that. Now I have to say, Barnsley branch of Vets for Pets have been absolutely fantastic. And we've been with them for, I think it's about 28 years. Ever since the first opened. I cannot knock them for the care. All the staff are absolutely brilliant. So I'd like to thank them. The only thing I complain about with vets, as I suppose everybody else does, is the bloody prices. Because they're so expensive. But luckily I got a little insurance policy for Yvie, so that paid for, you know, blood tests that she needed and stuff like that. So I'm not totally out of pocket. But even if I had been, it wouldn't have bothered me. I paid for it to be cremated. I think it's singular they call it, singular cremation. So all in all, it's cost me over 300 quid on Saturday. And a lot of upset after that. So that's been my weekend. How's yours been? We're not going to dwell too much on stuff. We're going to enjoy a little ride. I'm going to keep away from gnarly back lanes because I just know what they're going to be like. So we're just going to probably have a ride up to Penistone, nice and steady I think. I'll put the microphone on my back. See if I can get some proper sound from these pipes. But I've really missed this. Really missed it. Just not being able to get out. What with weather and like I explained a few minutes ago. I know it's not ideal riding weather, but we're not going to be long anyway. So we've got Christmas looming now, haven't we? I wonder what he's going to bring us this year. Hey, and also I've had my first member join. Edward Senesac. I hope that's how I was saying your name, Edward. If not, I apologise. But yeah, when I got monetised on 3,000 hours, YouTube sent me an invitation. And I weren't going to bother at first. I thought it's not really going to earn me a fortune, this. But I thought, well, I'll do it anyway. And I just set a membership thing up. And never mentioned it. I never expected anybody to join, and I went on to computer one morning and it just said you have a new member. That's old Edward from America. So yeah, I've earned £1.49 out of my channel so far, and I don't know when I'm going to see that. I'm not bothered, to be honest. You don't do stuff like this for money, do you? Unless you've got millions of subscribers, which I haven't. I think I've got about, is it 4,400 and something, which I'm grateful for every one of them, as I've mentioned many times. I know I've put a load of shorts out recently. I've been loading videos up into DaVinci and cutting them up for shorts just to take my mind off other things, and it's worked to a certain degree. I think I'm up to, I don't know if it's end of March or end of April schedule with shorts. And Edward will see them all first because they're all on a member's first setting. And he'll probably see this first. In fact, he will see this first when I've edited it. I'll bump into Penistone. Come up here around this way a lot, as you know, because it's on doorstep for me. Lovely little place. Never changes though, but then you won't want it to. Clocks are steaming up again. I think it's a well-known thing on these Enfields, on this model anyway, I don't know about others. Down this way. Sorry if I'm not very talkative today, I'm just trying to think of things to say. I weren't even going to bother recording this, I'm just going to keep it for me, and then I decided, you know what, let's put cameras on. Put cameras on and record it and share it. After all, that's what I do mostly now with my rides. It's very rare I don't record them. Plus it also doubles up as a bit of a dash cam. Plus I enjoy the editing process. I think that's best bit, to be honest, after riding. Expected it to be a bit slippy today, no, but it's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I don't like going under there when it booms. I wish it were a mile long. Yeah, I've been playing with editing software as well, trying new things. I do tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, me. However, I think I've found a system that works well now. I'm just going to play with this sound a bit, since I'm recording 2 channels. Apparently you can split it. In fact, I know you can split it. Play with each channel separately. So I'll have a go at that, I think. Because the sound of this bike's too good not to share, isn't it? What do you reckon to that new Bullet 650? What they've released at Yvie? That is a very tempting proposition, that. Not that I'm going to get rid of this, because I'm not. It looks a very nice bike. I don't think you can fault Royal Enfield a minute, to be honest. Oh, there's a bit of an update on these pannier rails as well. I mentioned I lost one of those clips. Well, I emailed Royal Enfield customer services after emailing a couple of dealers. One couldn't even be bothered to reply. And I emailed the place where I bought this from, Apple Yards. They said you can't buy the clips separately, that you've got to buy the entire rail, which I thought was a bit stupid. So I emailed customer services back, because they were ones that told me to get in touch with dealers, and even they thought it was a bit strange. So that was a couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't heard out from them, so I emailed them back a couple of days ago. Anyway, they've got back to me, asking for the address of my nearest dealer, which I duly gave them. And then, I think it was yesterday, they sent me an email and said the new pannier rails will be delivered to your local dealer, the one that you've sent us. I thought, pannier rails? I didn't ask for any pannier rails, I asked for a clip. So the email reads to me as though they're going to replace the entire rails under warranty, which, if they are going to do that, that is fantastic service. You cannot knock that, can you? So I'll update you on that when I get some more information, because I haven't got any as yet. But yeah, that's absolutely brilliant if they're going to do that. But what I'll do this time, I'll take the bolts out and Loctite them. Put them back in, obviously. And then they can't come out again, can they? But that's theory anyway. You have a bit of that engine noise or exhaust noise. My bike's going to be a bit scruffy when I get back with this cruddy weather. I went down into the garage on Saturday just to have a bit of alone time, and I thought, well, while I'm here I'll get Royal Enfield a little wipe down, and I did it with GT85. It looked like a new pin when I'd done, but it's not look like a new pin when I get back. It is a filthy dirty country this in winter, isn't it? There's not a lot we can do about that, is there? We've got to put up with it. It is what it is, as they say. Windy on here. It's not a bad day, it's just a little bit dull. I don't think we'll need any filters on this cameras today, will we? I see Osmo have released the Action 6 as well. I won't be buying that. I'm quite happy with what I've got with these two. Thought about buying another Action 4 so I can connect it to the back end, or perhaps onto engine bars, gives a different perspective. I don't know. I'll wait and see if it pops up on eBay when they all start selling them, because they've just got to get the latest one. I'd rather wait a year for prices to drop. I am a Yorkshireman, remember. I don't like spending money, not unless I absolutely have to. Nip down here again into Wortley Hall. This is a cracking place. Been here for many, many years. Look at that, if you can see it. You can almost imagine this back in the day, can't you? It used to be a country estate full of toffs. There you go. Well, you can see that. A beautiful house. Well, we're not going to stop. It's a hotel now. So there's got a few customers in. Yeah, you can almost imagine it back in there when, like Downton Abbey style, when they were all in service, working for Lord somebody or other. Back when times were simpler, I suppose, but then were they? Everybody was skint like they are now, aren't they? After saying that though, we are a lot better off these days, I think. Although after yesterday's budget, we ripped off yet again. Well, rich get richer. No surprises there, is there? There's one thing I do know for a definite fact, and that's that I will never vote Labour again. And I've been a staunch Labour voter all my life. But I will never ever vote Labour again after what they've done to us and to this country. And no, I'm not going to get political, but I feel very strongly about it. Never before in this country's history has a Prime Minister told us many lies to get into office as what our current Prime Minister has, and then just gone back on everything. But then why does that surprise us, eh? Is that not what most politicians do? Like I said, I'm not going to get political, but out for a ride. One thing, you know, these roads feel quite different this time of year. I rode up and down here many times in nice weather and it just feels different. Even though it's the same road and it's the same place. But I'm still very impressed with this. I honestly cannot fault it. For price and what I bought it to do, I just love it. I've sawn the tracer. For those of you that don't know abroad, if anybody's watching abroad that is, sawn means statutory off-road notification, which we have to do if we're not going to use it, or in other words if we're not going to pay tax or vehicle tax, which we have to do here in the UK so we can use it on roads. As well as an MOT test if it's over 3 years old, and obviously insurance. So you have to give the DVLA, which is the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority, a notification that your vehicle is off the road. That is called a SORN, S-O-R-N. So I did that yesterday, so I've declared the tracer SORNed until further notice. Next year, probably March time, beginning of March, end of March, I'll re-tax it and then we can start using that again. But I could redo it after 5 days if I wanted to. If I change my mind, all I've got to do is wait 5 days. Or go to a post office and you can pay over the counter to tax it. But I don't think I'll be using it. So I've took that off road. Honda is still taxed while, I can't remember if it's end of December. I think that runs out end of December. And this one's March, I think. So I'll keep this taxed, then get a couple of nice days over winter, crisp but dry. I'll get this out for an hour. Take it for a little ride like we're doing today. But obviously it's a bit damp under tyre today, so I'm taking it a bit steady, like we normally do. I'm never in a rush, as you know. There's no need to be. gravelly on here. I suppose when it rains heavy it all washes from side of the road, doesn't it, when we have had some heavy rain, you know. We really have. I've got two 240 litre water tanks right back of my shed. It's connected to obviously to guttering, and they're both full to the top. But we've still got an hosepipe ban on though. You can't use as hosepipes yet, even though we've had a deluge of rain. It's about right for this country though, that. But you don't need a lot of water to wash a motorbike. You can use a watering can. We can still use a watering can, we just can't use hosepipes. Quite fancy having a go horse riding, you know. I think I might do it. I might ask my daughter to take me one day, because she used to do a bit of horse riding, I think, at one time. Although we'll not be going yet, because I don't know if I mentioned it, I probably didn't, but I'm going to be a granddad. She's expecting, and it's due in March next year. So it's going to cost me a fortune, I just know it. I don't know if you've seen the price of baby stuff, prams and God knows what else lately, but they are a fortune. So that's something to look forward to. So yes, I'm going to be a granddad, so I'm officially old. Can't get away from it now, can I? I enjoyed this today. It's just nice, even in crappy weather, just to get out for half an hour or an hour. I was going to take Millie out for a walk before I set off, and decided against that because, I mean, she's 12 and a half years old, and ever since Saturday she's been on more walks than probably she's been in the last 6 months. What with one thing and another getting it where. So I don't want her doing too much at once. So my wife will probably take her out for 20 minutes or so when she comes in from work. But it's still pretty active, strong as an ox. Nice though, Yvie were strong as an ox. Scared of nothing, that dog. Absolutely nothing. One of, if not the best dog I've ever had. Am I going to get another one? Yeah, probably. Probably will do, actually. Not to replace her, I don't believe in that. I've had dogs at house all my life, and I don't know if I could manage without one. And I don't think Luke could, because we got his first dog when he was about, I think he was a year old. So he's had dogs at house for 27 years. But we'll see on that one. We'll see what the future brings. Started him back. Put kettle on, I think, cup of coffee time. Let Millie out for a wee and get a treat, put my bike away. And look forward to going to work at 2 o'clock. So I hope you enjoyed that little ride. Sorry if I've done too much whinging and been downbeat, but normal service will resume in due course. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, would you mind popping a like on for me? And even consider subscribing, I'd appreciate it, it does help me. So thank you very much once again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.